So that's good. Yeah, the records are always important because it proves that service connection during that time frame. The Navy, or not even the Navy, military has gone to a totally new um, system, MH Genesis. So what I would do if I were that service member, one, I would see if you can get a printed out copy of that visit, right? Just let that medical representative know, hey, I'm just trying to keep my record straight. Is it possible for me to get a printed out copy? And then if they do, great. If they don't, what I would do is I would go into, every service member has a MHA or a patient portal. I would just kind of keep tabs on that with that next day or two to ensure that that visit actually shows up, because depending on where you're deployed, especially like, let's say maybe if you're on a boat, there could be bandwidth issues, connectivities issues where it could drop off. So I would just paper copy and just kind of keep tabs. If it doesn't pop up, go back to that medical facility and say, hey, I was here a couple of days ago. I just want to see what I need to do to get this properly annotated in my military treatment facility or my military treatment service record.
So let me just add another question on this, Tyrone. You're at
Yes.
sea, you go to the sick call. Wouldn't it be
Mhm.
a good idea to talk to your, as you guys in the Navy call it, shipmate? We call it Air Force wingmen, and I know about being a shipmate because I did 2 years in the NATO Navy, right?
Okay.
So isn't it a good idea when you're in these kind of sparse conditions to get a note or a memo from one of your bosses? Yeah, Tyrone, he injured his shoulder. He was on deck with planes and something happened, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
there.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good point. So especially if something like that, you kind of mentioned the part about getting hurt. Sometimes, depending on the injury, you may actually find yourself filling out a safety report, right? And I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday about another piece of evidence. I would absolutely keep that safety report, right? Seaman Timmy was working on an aircraft, fell off, injured their shoulder. That is direct evidence of an injury sustained while working, while active duty. And I would also submit that with your claim.